just work on this one because this one's gonna be good. This one's gonna be good.
Yeah.
Welcome to Film School Friday. I'm Corey.
I'm Bill.
And together we host the In Focus podcast. Film School Friday is our special weekly episode where I get to quiz Bill to see how much knowledge he's actually able to retain from film school. And this week's episode, Bill, I know as we were going through the pre-production discussion, this one had you a little bit on edge. You're a little concerned about how this one might translate to some of these individuals in the world. But I want to talk about the grip department and what it is they're responsible for.
So the grip department, they support a lot of things on set. Most non-electrical building and tearing down, things primarily related to the camera department. On lower budget shoots, they're a bit of a catch-all for, gear being loaded out and loaded in, all the extra stuff. They're in charge of the grip truck, obviously. They drive it, they man it, they make sure nothing escapes from it that shouldn't be going out of it. And so they have a lot of support roles that can vary from budget to budget depending on how big the shoot is. And they're a very passionate group in my experience.
Okay.
A lot of them are very specific about the way they want things done. I may have had an experience when I was a young 20-something up-and-comer with a key grip that had no patience for me. I said good morning to him when I got to set because I'm nice, and his response was, there's two things we can do stuff around here, my way or my way mad. You decide which one it's going to be, and then he just walked away. So, they don't suffer fools a lot of times, grips. They work long hours. They're doing a lot of heavy lifting, literally, in a lot of cases. Time is money on set. A lot of pressure is put on them to make sure stuff's going off the truck and being built and being torn down and being coordinated and moved around the set when it's called for. It's high pressure, honestly. And so, it's easy to be sensitive and to be a little grumpy and long days. And, I've dealt with my fair share of very passionate grips.
All right. So Bill, did I hear you correctly? And you just said grips can be sensitive?
They can be sensitive about their work.
Okay.
Very much so. Like I said, it's a lot of high pressure. It's a lot of hard work. It's a lot of heavy lifting. They don't have time for people rolling up in there and getting in their way.
Grips, they don't fuck around.
No, they don't fuck around at all. A lot is on them to move things from point A to point B a lot of times on set. And quite frankly, to protect a lot of the gear.
Yeah, that's good. So clearly a very important role. It exists for a reason.
Mm-hmm.
Make sure you find a good one, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Or a good mini grips.
A good mini grips.
Unless you're Chris Dyer. If you have Chris Dyer on set, he can be your one grip, and he will do all of it.
Oh, that guy is a beast.
He is a beast.
I worked with him recently on a short with Zach Adams.
Yeah.
And he was everywhere. Everywhere you needed somebody to be, I felt like he was already there.
Yes. And he's one of those guys where it's like, I'll be thinking about how I need to change the battery on the camera soon, and he'll be standing behind me with it in his pocket. It's like, oh yeah. And just a great dude anyway, just a really great guy. But yeah, Nashville, if you need a all-encompassing one-man team, Chris Dyer, he's your man.
Nice. Book him today.
Yes.
All right. Grip. What is a grip? I think you clearly define that. Clearly, grips don't fuck around.
No.
So thinking about other roles on set, obviously the grip plays an integral part in a lot of different inner workings on a set. But getting into the work of a grip, could that be a role that maybe a high potential production assistant or a PA could maybe easily transition into with the right kind of focus and training? Is that like a fair assessment that would be a good next step for a PA?
Yes, I would say so. There's a lot of, very hungry PAs out there that want to go straight from PA to DP. Doesn't always happen that way. Sometimes you have to work your way into other set opportunities like grip and things like that. And it's not a glamorous job. It definitely isn't. And like I said, it's tough. A lot of grips don't fool around. It's an easy way to learn really quickly. I have to say, in my experience, when I was younger and dealing with more seasoned grips on set, I learned very quickly. It was like being thrown to the wolves, because they're just like, let's go. We'll run right over you. Keep moving. So it's a good way to get into that headspace of, time is important on set.
Yeah, that's great. No, that's good. Okay. Excellent job. As always, we appreciate your knowledge and your willingness to share. I guess you passed this time.
You guess?
Yeah. No, you definitely passed. Nice job.
Good.
Okay. I think that'll about do it for Film School Friday this week. Thanks for tuning in. Please, everyone, make sure you feed your crew.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll catch you next time.
See you later.
We know you have a lot of podcast options, and we appreciate you choosing us. Come back next week to hear me put Bill to the test again. Check us out at infocuspodcast.com. And if you like what you heard today, could you do us a favor and rate our show wherever you consume your podcasts? It would help us out a ton.